Good day and welcome. Today we will be discussing mythology and folklore. I am Anier Coronel and I will be presenting these topics for today. So, mythology and folklore. How are they different? How are they similar? Let's begin, shall we? So, folklore and mythology, they sound pretty similar. So let's break down folklore and mythology. Folk means ordinary people, and lore means knowledge, meaning that it's the knowledge of ordinary people, and it's also a way of life for a group of people, meaning that their way of life can involve culture and lifestyle. So these involve creative expressions like the arts, dances, superstitions, proverbs, holidays, and songs. So this tackles how people live their lives, how they work for a living, how they interact with others, what do they believe in. So technically, the distinction between the two is that folklore is the bigger category because in folklore, mythology is under it. So folklore is the big distinction, and then mythology, it's the smaller part. So moving on to mythology, this is our early signs, meaning these are symbols of fundamental truths. These tales, they serve as explanation to many things about certain phenomena, so explains basic queries about the world, gods, and natural occurrences. So why does it rain? Why is there thunder? Why do the seasons change? It seeks to explain weather, science, and other things that are unexplainable and has no identifiable author. So the examples are creation myths, pure myth sagas, legends, primitive pagan, scientific, and sacred myths. So folklore, let's break this down further. It's classified into fables, legends, and myths. So the Egyptians, they believed in the afterlife, mummification, and they worshipped animals because they believed that their gods, they took on the form of cats, dogs, and falcons. So they revere these animals. And the Norse, they have Vikings and worship Odin, Thor, Loki, and Freya. So this is mostly warrior-based culture. And us Filipinos, we have Anitos as brought by our Spanish conquerors based on Hispanic beliefs. So we have the Diwatas, the Manananggal, Tikbalang, Duende, and Capre. So our way of life before is that people believed in them, they were on the lookout for them, and they cared not to insult or to do something bad to nature because they believe that there are certain deities that can punish or reward them. And then mythology. So we have creation myths, birth or creation of the universe. So let's put it this way. In Genesis, it's the creation of the universe in 7 days, right? So for Christians, they believe that God made it in 7 days. Whereas for creation myths, we have certain representations. For Gaia, she represented Earth, and then Tartarus represented underworld, Uranus is the sky god, and it was followed by Titans and Olympians. So pure myth is the first science or religion. So it seeks to explain why seasons change, why the weather changes, saga or legend, we have our first history. Even if it's fictional, Iliad still and Odyssey can be considered the first history, the first legends, because they documented a way of life for people. There is some truth to it, how warriors lived, how civilizations lived, and we have our primitive. It's about nature told by shamans, meaning that these are like the doctors. And then we have the pagan between deities and humans. So there are many different kinds. Scientific, sacred, cosmic, theistic, hero, place and object, life crisis, hunting, and agricultural. So, mythology. Why do we need to learn mythology, or what are the benefits to it? So, one, morals we gain are guidelines for living. So, as you can see from the pictures there below, the first one is about the tale of Narcissus. The second is about the tale of Arachne. And then the third is Icarus, the tale of Icarus and Daedalus. And then the fourth is about Midas Gold. So it teaches us that we shouldn't be too narcissistic, too boastful, too ambitious, or too moderate, to have moderation with ambition. And the fourth is to value life, to value what we have, the people around us, and do not be too materialistic. And then number two, it offers role models. So mythology has many different role models, such as one, Hercules. Hercules is somewhat of a hero. He's really a hero because he has these 12 feats that he accomplished. Even though it was a punishment to him, still he managed to be brave, courageous, and persevere in achieving it. Same with Sisyphus, who pushed a boulder that kept rolling down the hill. So it teaches us that even if we are in the hardest of circumstances, we make the best out of it and continue to fight. And three, it ensures continuity and stability of culture. So I would relate number two with three. So we have modern adaptations. Percy Jackson, he is this kid with ADHD who fights monsters. He is a demigod, half god, half human. And despite this, he still carries on with his life. And so it shows kids that they can be whoever they want to be and defeat the monsters, the struggles that they face in life. So it's continuity and stability of culture, meaning that mythology is still as relevant as ever, that it still survives, that the legacy the Greek civilizations have left us, from the art, the sculptures, to the tales, they endure. It is perennial, meaning long lasting throughout many centuries. And that is one good quality of literature. And fourth, nurtures creativity in explaining the unexplainable. So, as I've said, it explains why the leaves change, why the seasons change. Perhaps it's because of the myth of Hades and Persephone, wherein Persephone had taken 6 pomegranate seeds. So, meaning that half will be spent on earth with her mother Demeter, and half will be spent with Hades in the underworld. So, this is part one of mythology and folklore. So, stay tuned for part two, wherein we will discuss different theories related to mythology. So, thank you, and see you next time. Goodbye.